Hello, my name is Brooklyn Denny with Western Illinois University, and this is a presentation over my research study on active procrastination as a coping mechanism. There are two forms of procrastination that we are aware of. Passive procrastination is probably the most commonly known form of procrastination, and this is unintentionally delaying a task despite an impending deadline. Active procrastination is intentionally delaying a task by prioritizing other tasks and using the impending deadline to motivate completion. Choi and Moran studied this form of procrastination in 2009 and developed the APS scale at that time. Mental health is a combination of many different factors. However, for this study, we just looked at three specific factors. Stress, which is a state of worry or mental tension caused by a difficult situation. Anxiety, which is the overwhelming feeling of uneasiness due to worry about a situation or task that affects one's mental health. And depression is a mental disorder classified by an overwhelming feeling of sadness and persistent lack of interest in participation in previously reinforcing behaviors or tasks. There are many other factors of mental health that can be looked at. However, these were the most important factors for this study. In 2009, Choi and Moran also studied active procrastination and its mental health factors. At this time, they defined four aspects of active procrastination. Preference for pressure, which means that active procrastinators actually prefer to work under last-minute time pressure as they enjoy feeling challenged at that time. Intentional decision to procrastinate is meaning that active procrastinators are choosing to procrastinate and pre-planning activities freely while reshuffling and reorganizing tasks in order to respond to external demands. Ability to meet deadlines means that active procrastinators know how much time it's going to take them to complete the task and therefore use this information to efficiently use their time while still meeting the deadline they were given, even if this means they are a last-minute submission to the deadline. Lastly, outcome satisfaction. Even while procrastinating tasks, active procrastinators are still achieving desirable outcomes, both during the procrastination process as well as after they have completed the task. They're still receiving desirable outcomes from their work. This current study intends to replicate the study of Choi and Moran and further define mental health factors that affect procrastination. There were three forms of measurement used during this research project. The APS scale was used to measure active procrastination, which was developed by Choi and Moran in 2009 study. To measure mental health factors, two scales were used. The perceived stress scale was used to measure stress. That was developed by Cohen in 1983. And anxiety and depression were measured together using the Weinberg Adjustment Inventory that was developed in 1990, as well as four additional student-sponsored questions. Participants for the study were recruited using three different methods: email, link, social media link, as well as a post on the Social Psychology Network. We were able to gather 279 participants. These participants ranged in age from 18 years old to 85 years old. The screen shows a table that shows the gender of all of our participants. After clicking on the link that participants were given, they were directed to SurveyMonkey, which is where our research project posted our online questionnaire. This questionnaire took approximately 20 to 25 minutes to complete and had a variety of questions included. Participants started out with demographic questions, and they also answered questions about different forms of procrastination, as well as several different mental health questions. And then there were additional questions, including parenting, academic, and sports, as this survey was used to complete multiple research projects. On the screen, you will see an example of the survey, and this is on the section of mental health. Here we have a table displaying the results of our study. The means, standard deviations, and correlations between active procrastination and mental health factors are all listed here. Here we see that active procrastination does have an inverse significant relationship with anxiety, stress, and depression. As well as we can see that anxiety, stress, and depression are all positively correlated. So the big question today is, how can we apply this information? Active procrastination has a significant impact on mental health. This is something Choi and Moran found in 2009, and we also concluded in this study. As active procrastination increases, stress, depression, and anxiety all three decrease. This leads us to believe that we can use active procrastination as a coping mechanism when dealing with tasks, as long as we are aware of the benefits and consequences of procrastinating the task at hand. As with all research, our research study does have some limitations. Convenience sampling was used, as this was the fastest and most effective way for us to get our research study out to people. We also did only distribute the survey in English. In the future, you could distribute the survey in multiple languages to get a more cohesive population, as well as use a longer data collection period and possibly distribute the survey in other ways, as we did only use the internet and online resources. Despite our limitations, we were able to replicate Choi and Moran's conclusion that active procrastination is beneficial to those who use it, knowing its benefits and consequences. The following are my references that were used throughout the study. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation today, and I hope you learned something.